Hello everyone and welcome back. We've got a two-part video this time, and I'm here with Chris, my friend, who has the BMW i3S, and we're going to be discussing his massive kilometre usage so far, and also we're going to be talking about his solar setup, as he has 21 kilowatts of solar on 3-phase. So let's check that out. Okay, here we are again with Chris, and I'm at his house because he's got an incredible solar system. We're friends because he's into solar and into EVs, and we both have Zappi chargers, but in this episode I want to discuss his solar setup. So Chris, can you tell me a little bit more about what you have installed at your place, what you've had previously and what you've got now?
Okay, so when we first moved into this place, we wanted to go solar straight away. We already owned the car, so we understood what we wanted from the charging side of it. So it was very important that we had a lot of very good charge early in the morning. So we ended up going for a Longi panel, it's called, and there's half of the panels on that system are facing east and half are facing north. So that just meant we could plug the car in at night time, and the Zappi would do its thing first thing in the morning while we're still asleep.
And what wattage were those panels?
They're all 300 watt panels.
Okay.
That system was in play for just over 12 months, and after living with that system for that time, and the car and home charging, we decided to heavily investigate upgrading to 3-phase. And obviously with the mind of doubling, if we could, doubling that system. So we went from 36 panels, 300 watts, which is 10.8 kilowatts, and doubled that to 72 panels, still 300 watts. The new panels are a different brand, and they're called Suntech, and obviously all black, so it's a bit of a different look for solar panels. All black aren't that in at the moment, but I think they do look better, and we got a pretty good match as far as the look of those two systems.
Okay, so 72 panels, 21 kilowatt, and I believe you have two 8 kilowatt inverters. What sort of electricity plan are you on? Who's your retailer, and what sort of
so we're on the AGL
money do you get from them?
We're on the AGL plan. From it sort of got squashed a while back, but basically 20 cents feed in is what we get paid, and we pay a little bit more for our power, but we don't use much, so it's not a big deal. And so even on the original system with charging the car the way we never received a bill while on that plan, and of course now that we've got the 3-phase system, the credit is sizable now. So we're talking basically $900 a quarter.
So 900 a quarter, and you are running your car, you're charging your car pretty much primarily at home. How much is that saving you, like a month or a quarter?
So last month, for example, we put in the equivalent of $360 worth of fuel, but that came from the sun, so completely free.
That's good, hey?
It's a good feeling.
So when you're calculating your return on investment for this, are you able to tell the viewers actually how much you spent on this system, and how much your return on investment is likely to be in terms of years?
So the system total, like the first system plus the second system, including the 3-phase changeover, it's around about the $24,000 mark. We've obviously already got some income or some savings from the first system while it was in play for just over 12 months. So from this point forward, the new system's only been in play for just under 3 months, but from this point forward we've got about 2 to 2.5 year payback for the total system.
Like, when you consider that's over $20,000 and it's only got 2 to 3 year payback. That's pretty incredible.
You obviously will be happy with anything under 3 years, but at this point it looks like it's going to be a lot sooner than that.
Yeah. And then from that point in time, you've built up a passive income then, haven't you? So
Yeah.
what's your rough monthly or annual income expected to be?
Obviously it'll change throughout the year, but it'll be roughly $300 a month, averaged out from what we can figure.
So about $10 a day.
It'd be about that, or just over every day.
Yeah.
Especially on the sunny ones.
Yeah. As long as you're getting the higher feed-in tariff.
Yeah,
plan.
obviously that will drop once the 20 cents drops off, which will be about 12 months away from now, and then we'll just reshop, see whoever's offering the best deal at the time. So even if we lose that feed-in, it's not a big deal because we're still saving so much, just from self-consumption with the car, and we've also got the pool and electric hot water. All that's on a timer so that it runs when we know there's going to be solar, even on a cloudy day. That's all covered, which is a pretty big benefit too. So we don't have to worry about special tariffs to make minute savings.
All right. So in terms of output, can you maybe tell us what your best output days have been? And we've just had about 2 or 3 weeks worth of rain. So what was the worst that you saw over that period?
Okay, so the worst so far is 23.6 kilowatts on the worst day.
That's still pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah. Previous to that, it was nearly double that. So, you can have a cloudy day and then you can have a cloudy day. There's such a big scope there in what you're actually going to get. But still 23 on a really, really bad day, you can't argue with that, can you?
No. You're still able to charge a car. That's still able to offset most of your house usage. So,
absolutely.
There's nothing really. So that's on your worst day. How about your best day?
So the best day so far is 136, and there's been a few days, more than a few days actually, which have been over 130. So that's very good.
136.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the moment, including the last 2 weeks, which have been really, really terrible, at the moment the average for the system is 100 or just over 100 kilowatts per day.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome. And because you've got the 3-phase, what are you seeing that you're able to export 15 kilowatt?
Yeah, so the export level we can now go to is 15. It was only 5 on single phase.
Yeah.
So we were seeing some capping on what we could actually get out when we're not self-consuming. Whereas now with the pool pump running and the hot water in the middle of the day, even though we're able to produce 16.4, the gap between the 15 and the 16.4 is just self-consumed by those two appliances. So even if we're not home, we're not really seeing any clipping at all on a great sunny day. So there's no wastage anymore, which is always good.
Yeah. And your Zappy's able to charge at 7 kilowatts, even though the i3 can do 11, can't it?
Yeah, 11 and a half.
But so the Zappy's maxing out a lot of the time during the early morning. But this is one of 2 videos that we're making at Chris's place, and you should check out his usage of his i3 because he's done 80,000 kilometres already in 21 months of owning the i3. So we discussed that in our other video. But thank you, Chris, for your time. I think that's really interesting to hear what happens or what can happen on a residential address with 3-phase, big solar, and it's you're still able to get a really good return on investment, and then maybe even get some passive income there. So thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.